Life is a journey we were never meant to travel alone. We are relational beings, wired for connection. The company we keep has a profound impact on our lives. Our relationships can either propel us towards our destiny or hinder our growth and fulfillment. Proverbs 13:20 reminds us, "Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm." The people we surround ourselves with shape our thoughts, beliefs, and actions. They influence our decisions and ultimately contribute to the trajectory of our lives. One such story, found in 2 Chronicles, offers valuable lessons on the importance of choosing our alliances wisely. It is the account of two kings, Jehoshaphat and Ahaziah, and the consequences of their ill-advised partnership. Through their experience, we discover the timeless principle that our associations can either draw us closer to God or lead us astray. Remember, the company we keep matters. The story of Jehoshaphat and Ahaziah is a study in contrasts. Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, was a man who sought the Lord. 2 Chronicles 17:3 tells us, "The Lord was with Jehoshaphat because in his early years he followed the ways of his father David and did not seek out the Baals." He removed idols from the land, instituted religious reforms, and led his people in righteousness. Jehoshaphat was not perfect, but his heart was turned towards God. Ahaziah, the king of Israel, was a stark contrast. He was the son of Ahab and Jezebel, notorious for their wickedness and idolatry. 2 Kings 8:18 states, "Ahaziah did evil in the eyes of the Lord as his father and mother had done." Despite witnessing the consequences of his parents' rebellion, Ahaziah chose to follow in their footsteps, leading his people further down a path of spiritual decay. These two kings, so different in their character and commitment to God, found themselves in a position to form an alliance. This alliance, born out of political expediency rather than divine guidance, would prove to be a grave mistake for Jehoshaphat. Despite their differences, Jehoshaphat and Ahaziah entered into an alliance. Ahaziah, eager to expand his influence, proposed a joint venture to Jehoshaphat. Their goal was to build ships in Ezion-Geber, a port city on the Red Sea, to sail to Tarshish for trade. The prospect of increased wealth and influence likely appealed to Jehoshaphat. However, he failed to seek God's guidance before entering into this partnership. 2 Chronicles 20:35-37 recounts the disastrous outcome of this alliance. The ships they built were destroyed, foiling their plans for wealth and expansion. God, through a prophet, rebuked Jehoshaphat, saying, "Because you have made an alliance with Ahaziah, the Lord will destroy what you have made. The ships are wrecked." This event serves as a stark reminder of the consequences that can follow when we fail to seek God's will in our relationships and decisions. Jehoshaphat's decision to partner with Ahaziah had far-reaching implications. It not only resulted in financial loss, but also brought God's disfavor upon him. The story of Jehoshaphat and Ahaziah serves as a stark warning about the dangers of bad company. The Bible repeatedly cautions us against the influence of ungodly associations. 1 Corinthians 15:33 states, "Do not be misled, bad company corrupts good character." When we surround ourselves with individuals who disregard God's principles, we become more susceptible to compromise. Their values, beliefs, and behaviors can gradually chip away at our own convictions, making us more likely to stray from God's path. Jehoshaphat's alliance with Ahaziah illustrates this principle. Despite his generally righteous character, Jehoshaphat allowed himself to be drawn into a partnership that compromised his integrity and displeased God. This story serves as a potent reminder that we must be vigilant in guarding our hearts and minds against the snare of bad company. Section 5. The weight of influence. We're all influenced by those around us, whether we realize it or not. The people we spend time with, the voices we listen to, the content we consume, all of these shape our thoughts, beliefs, and actions. Proverbs chapter 27, verse 17 states, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." This verse highlights the transformative power of positive influence. When we surround ourselves with individuals who are grounded in faith, characterized by integrity, and passionate about their walk with God, we create an environment where spiritual growth can flourish. Their example inspires us, their encouragement strengthens us, and their accountability challenges us to live up to our full potential in Christ. Conversely, negative influences can weigh us down, hindering our spiritual progress and leading us away from God's best for our lives. The story of Jehoshaphat and Ahaziah reminds us that influence can be subtle and insidious. Jehoshaphat, despite his good intentions, allowed himself to be swayed by Ahaziah's proposal, failing to recognize the spiritual implications of their alliance. This highlights the importance of being discerning in our relationships, understanding that not all associations, even those that appear harmless on the surface, are conducive to spiritual growth. Section 6. Seeking God's direction. In a world filled with countless voices vying for our attention, it is paramount that we seek God's guidance in all our decisions, especially when it comes to our relationships. Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 to 6 encourages us, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight." This passage reminds us that God's wisdom surpasses our own limited understanding. When we face decisions about whom to befriend, whom to date, whom to do business with, or whom to allow into our inner circle, we must first consult with God. Prayer is essential in this process. Through prayer, we invite God into our decision-making, seeking His perspective, His wisdom, and His guidance. God, in His infinite wisdom and love, desires to lead us on the path that is best for us. The story of Jehoshaphat and Ahaziah serves as a cautionary tale about the consequences of neglecting to seek God's direction. Jehoshaphat's failure to consult with God before entering into an alliance with Ahaziah led to disastrous consequences. Section 7. Examining our circles. The story of Jehoshaphat and Ahaziah challenges us to take an honest look at our own circles of influence. Who are the people we are allowing to speak into our lives? Are they drawing us closer to God or leading us astray? Are they encouraging us in our faith or hindering our spiritual growth? These are questions we must ask ourselves regularly. Taking inventory of our relationships can be a humbling experience. We may discover that we have allowed individuals into our inner circle who do not share our values or support our walk with God. Once we have identified areas where we need to make adjustments, we can begin to take steps to align our relationships with God's will for our lives. This may involve setting healthy boundaries with individuals who are negative influences, seeking out mentors who can provide spiritual guidance, and investing in relationships with those who share our faith and values. Remember, making changes to our social circles can be challenging. Section 8. Standing strong in our convictions. When we are deeply rooted in our faith and committed to living according to God's principles, we are better equipped to resist negative influences and make wise choices in our relationships. Ephesians chapter 6, verses 10 to 11 encourages us, "Finally be strong in the Lord and in His mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes." Building a strong foundation of faith requires a daily commitment to spending time with God through prayer, Bible study, and worship. As we immerse ourselves in His Word, we gain a deeper understanding of His character, His will, and His promises. This knowledge empowers us to discern truth from error, resist temptation, and make choices that honor God. When we are confident in our identity in Christ and secure in God's love, we are less likely to be swayed by the opinions or behaviors of those around us. Section 9. A call to wise choices. The story of Jehoshaphat and Ahaziah serves as a timeless reminder that our associations matter. The company we keep can either draw us closer to God or lead us astray. It can either fuel our faith or extinguish it. Let us be inspired to choose our associations wisely, seeking God's guidance in every relationship and endeavor. Let us surround ourselves with individuals who inspire us to grow in our faith, encourage us in our walk with God, and hold us accountable to live lives of integrity. Remember, life is better together. When we are surrounded by a community of like-minded believers, we experience the transformative power of shared faith, mutual encouragement, and unwavering support.